Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children that are hopefully older than 12, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Think Different podcast, episode 96. That's right, there were 95 other episodes, the same age as my co-host, but I'll get to him in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy to be here as all of you every single week. Thank you for listening to us all the time, but make sure you check us out on our YouTube channel as well. We are live on that, as long as with all of our podcasts. Leave us some 5-star reviews on that iTunes or Spotify. But I am not here alone. No, you already know who I am. Of course, I am Will, the former Apple retail employee with 10 years, over 11 years. That's a lot of years of experience, and I was a genius. But no, there's one more guy here with me all the time. And he is the former Apple creative, book publishing, Jurassic Park owner, retirement home president, the Keto Trout drummer himself, yep. Mr. Frank Funk.
Yeah, before we get started, Will, I just want to...
oh, wait, before we get started, we got to make sure our non-sponsor is Evia. There you go. Now we're good to go.
Well, just in case there are, I don't know how many Rolling Stone fans are out there listening to us, but it's a sad day. Last week, drummer for the Rolling Stones for over many decades, Charlie Watts, passed away. So it's just a sad note, sad for the music world, and hopefully the Stones will continue, but Charlie will sadly be missed by all of us drummers.
I'm not the Stones number one fan. I haven't exactly enjoyed everything. I like a couple things from them, but unfortunately I didn't really know much about him. I know you're a drummer, so obviously that's going to be your forte. I mean, you're wearing a hat right now that basically represents the Stones. So he decided to put his Jurassic Park one away today for a little tribute. So you're a good man, Charlie Brown. You're a good man.
Your favorite Rolling Stone song is "Start Me Up" from Windows 95, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. Everyone Start Me Up for Windows 95. Everyone had Windows 95.
Yep.
So don't tell me anybody out here who didn't own a computer back then didn't have Windows 95 somewhere in their house, unless they were an Apple owner, and that was far and few in between. So, but we're going to talk to those happy and sad people today because we decided to go back to what we like to do all the time. Every couple of episodes, we always want to do a review show because we always like hearing what people are saying about the Apple stores, good and bad. So me and Frank came up with 3 of our own. Frank has, we decided to do 2 bad, 1 good because everyone likes to hear the bad stuff. And then the good stuff, of course, a great experience. So that's what our episode is all about today. I'm going to let you start first there, Frank, because I know you want to start off with a bad review. We got to start off on the negative.
Yeah, no,
and work our way up, and then work our way back down again.
Now these are all these are all relatively current.
Yes, all of them are
2 weeks old. One is 1 week, and my good one is let's see,
2 months.
2 months. I couldn't find a 5-star for the Quaker Bridge store. That was newer than that, so
I didn't choose
know
that
what
store.
that
I chose the
says,
Freehold store.
Okay,
so
here we go.
It means that the talent is surely missing, and that'd be us right here.
Perhaps. So this is from Robbie from 2 weeks ago. This is a 1-star rating. So it starts out, looking to have my iPhone repaired. I came to the store yesterday at about 5:20. Got an appointment and had to wait around for 2 hours just to be told that they couldn't have it repaired at that time because it was already too late, 7 p.m., and they close at 8 p.m. So they provided me with a sticker and told me just to stop by the next day, which is today, and they will have it ready in around an hour. I came in as directed, and guess what? The person who does the repair is not in today, and they don't know if that person will be in later. Really ashamed that they're now providing such poor customer service experience. A few years ago, I had my old iPhone repaired at the same store, and the experience was really good at that time. So this just means that Apple is no longer the top brand that always makes sure to offer the best experience.
Now, first off, it's a TP offer. Let's go with that first.
Yeah. Well, Um, there's a couple of things that I,
Let's break that down. Yeah, let's break that down a little
yeah.
bit. So
First of
let's talk
all,
about the 520. Yeah, the first thing I noticed was the 520 appointment.
yeah,
So what I remember is that we would always know ahead of time if we were closing and someone was coming in for that appointment time that their phone would not be done prior to them
yes,
coming in and doing the appointment. Now, it's 5:20, and they had to wait 2 hours. So I could see them not telling them at 5:20 because maybe the turnaround was faster than what was told.
mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if he was told, yes, that it was gonna, be done that time. So that's what I'm very curious
Yeah.
on that.
But the one thing that, since this person is a repeat customer, the one thing that I'm a little disappointed in is that um this person, I don't want to say should have known, but probably should have made an appointment through the Apple
The
support
Apple
app,
support app, yeah. Hmm.
because it would have saved them obviously 3 hours. you know,
Yeah, I mean, this could have been it sounds like it's a crack repair or a camera. Maybe there was a chance they couldn't make an appointment. Maybe their camera was cracked. I don't know. I mean, trust me, you can go on the Apple website on a computer and do this. I mean, that's the reality
yeah,
of it. There is a way, and this person didn't do that. But I'm hoping they set the expectations right, which they didn't. But it sounded like he was okay to come by the next day. It doesn't sound like this person was upset that they had to come the next day either.
no, right.
Or he was directed and he just kind of took it.
And then when he got there the next day, um,
Right.
then that expectation, they really dropped the ball there.
Yes.
They just said, "Oh, well, the person that can do this isn't here." Well,
So
guess what?
here's what I'm thinking.
That should have been in the notes.
So
And
remember, Apple has had this new system before I left that I barely got to touch, which was a repair system. So it's like you knew what the turnaround time would be based on that person in the queue, and now we were actually timed based on that. What I'm thinking is that a genius or a repair tech did not show up in that morning, and by the time the guy came in, which was probably right when the store opened, there was nobody to repair that phone.
right,
But I would be kind of curious on if they knew that was due the next day, why wasn't someone pulled from the store before it opened or something? Because I don't know. Or what I'm thinking is this. You say they provided me with a sticker to tell me so I could just stop by the next day and they'll have it ready in an hour. So what I'm thinking then, now reading this a little more, they probably held the display for them and told them to come back the next morning and drop it off for a repair.
yeah. Well, but here's the thing. Either way, when the manager knew that, or when the admin knew that the person that could do that repair wasn't there, a manager should have been notified. And when that person came in, the manager should have immediately gone out and tried to explain the situation and told them that, you know, as soon as we get this repaired, we'll give you a call, and not to wait around. They should have tried to handle it some other way, because
Yeah, I
the
think this was a
expectation
service.
was,
To me, this is a service non repair. That's what I think this was. I don't think he left the phone there,
yeah.
personally.
Well, but still, I still think the manager should have stepped
Yeah.
in and really tried to smooth over that relationship some way or another.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a little silly that they said the person who does repairs is not in today. So I don't know if
Yeah.
they ended up getting the repair done that day or not. We don't know all the details of this. So I think there was definitely something missing here from the store side. I don't think this is I think he's kind of understandable of that. But I also think, like, if he had a 5:20 appointment, I don't know how long his wait time was told. He says 2 hours. But if he was waiting, then they should have told him, hey, there's a chance that your repair may not be done
Right.
that evening. So,
Yeah.
we'll see. And the sticker is always funny because we would give like a sticker that is really for us, but we would give it to the customer, which is I always thought was weird. But they do that because it's kind of like their ID badge, like to know,
Right, right.
because they don't need to remember the repair number or anything like that. It makes it easier for us to scan it, really. That's why it's there.
Yeah.
But it's really not for a customer to have.
Yeah.
Am I right on that?
Yeah. No, but I still
Yeah.
think that the personnel in the store were well aware that this person was going to show up, and they should have been prepared. Just
Hmm.
should have been. Um,
All right.
it's kind of
Well,
strange.
let's go to a customer that is wrong on 100%. So this guy Mike Charleston gave a 1-star review, and he says the following: "It was very bad that they sold me an iPhone that was waterproof, but it wasn't. It wasn't. I dropped in the pool, and then the speakers got clogged with water, and my home button was making a very weird noise." Now, I'm going to let you know that was one whole sentence I just said there.
All right, let's not be grammar police here. Don't worry about that.
Grammar police. There's not one period in this sentence. I dropped it in the pool. Then the speaker, like, you could, like,
Yeah,
and
I know.
then, like, this guy's reputation without even diving into it looks like stupid. So, Mike Charleston, if you are listening to this from the Freehold store and you left that review, I'm going to let you know that you need to go back to school and learn, like, proper English. You know, I am not a great Englishman myself. I suck at texting, but this was pretty shitty, honestly. And I want to let you know, Mr. Mike Charleston, no one at Apple, I can tell you that right now, ever told you that that phone was waterproof.
Yes.
There is no way in hell that someone told him that.
Yeah.
Because I know Apple. Apple is it is harder to get into Stanford University than it is to get into an Apple store as far as an employee goes. And I'm going to tell you right now, no one told you that phone was waterproof. Your perception of it was.
Water resistant, but not water.
Yeah. I swear to God, how many people came to the store? Oh, this phone's supposed to be waterproof.
And
I was like, we're on Apple.com. Did you see that?
Yeah. And it has a home button. So I'm thinking, well, what version of the phone is that? Because the most waterproof
probably an
versions
SE.
are like from the 10, the 11, and the 12. So
Yeah, the SE is definitely not as water resistant as those other phones.
Yeah.
That is for sure. So that was Mike Stupid here. Mike Stupid Charlie.
Well, my second one is from Axorn D'Souza. This is a 1-star review from 1 week ago. It starts out, "Manager Mickey is very dismissive and ignores customers unless they stare him down. Hands down, my worst experience in an Apple store. Stig is also terribly rude, deciding we weren't worth his time based on one glance at us. Sales rep was nice, but that hardly makes up for all the prior disrespect. Order online." Now, I don't know who Stig is.
Yeah, I don't know Stig is either.
I do know Mickey, and I was a little surprised at this, but once again, it's I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm just surprised because I never knew Quakeridge to be like this. So I'm just,
right. I mean,
just surprised.
Honestly, there are sometimes a facial expression could really make a difference in a conversation, especially when you're talking to them.
Yes.
You know, I can't say how that went down. My experience with some people on teams, when they talk to people, I could understand why they would take them one way or another. I mean, people probably would say the same thing about me. Honestly, there are employees that had problems with me, and they would talk to me in a way that I know that no matter if they're having a good day, bad day, they just don't want to have that face-to-face interaction.
Right.
You know, and it comes off fake. And that could happen. And a lot of times when you're a manager in that store, you have to kind of put on a show, you know? But there are also people that are very, very good at it. You know, I can name, a lot of managers who are terrific at it. Adrian, I'm going to mention his name. Yeah. He's not going to listen to this. But I'm pointing him out because he's probably an Apple lifer. He's probably the perfect Apple manager, store leader. I could see that guy being a store leader, in one day, because of just the way he talks to people, the way he talks to his employees, the way he has a positive attitude. You never see the guy really upset or frown. and
Yep.
the way he's able to talk to a customer, he's really the perfect. I haven't met someone like that in a long time that was like that with
I would
clients.
agree.
I can remember our first district manager who now runs the store in Fifth Avenue. He he's like the perfect guy. He reminds me of that. So that guy could sell .Mac like you wouldn't believe. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's an example of it. So I could see how, based on my conversations with him and stuff like that, I could see how someone would come off like that. Now, is he like that all the time? Absolutely not. So, there might be people listening to this. I don't work there anymore. So it's like,
Yeah.
no one calls me. So it's like, what do I care? But I'm only 10 minutes from that store though. All right. Well, let's talk about I want to talk about a good one, a 5-star review. I have consistently had a great experience at the store. This is from Lore G. The staff are knowledgeable, gave me the pros and cons of the device I was considering, and helped me figure out the price point that worked best for me. Today, Emily helped my sister choose a new iPhone, and it was a simple, seamless transaction. She is thrilled with her phone and with the service. We even got a trade on the old phone. We were not rushed, and we had a personalized service. I highly recommend the Apple Store. This is the third time I've gone there to purchase a device.
Yeah. Well, if that's the Emily that I'm thinking of, she is very, very personable. And,
Are you talking the one that went to California?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's not there anymore, so I'm going to say no on that one. Another Emily. But yeah, she's still, there's an Emily that worked at an Apple store. She worked at Starbucks, and she got hired to our store, and then she blew up in Apple. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
She works at corporate now. Pretty amazing. In fact, she was engaged to, I think, a former genius at a Freehold store. So, yeah, I don't know if that's still happening. But yeah, it's pretty incredible. But as far as like what this person wrote about, this couldn't have been more perfect of an interaction. They use those Apple steps of service, buddy.
Yep. Yeah. This pretty much is what every representative strives for, to assimilate with the customer, to show
Not sell them the most expensive thing.
Right. Help them find the best product that's for them. I mean, there were, well, I think with me anyway, a lot of older people would come to me.
Sure, because
they just felt comfortable.
Yeah, sure.
And there were a lot of times when I would start to describe a feature of the phone. They say, "Oh, I'm not going to use that," and then I'd go on to another one and say, "Oh, I'll never use that," or then I'd do it on another, "I'll never use that." And it got to a point where I would say, "Well, if you're not going to use the phone, if you're only going to use it just to make phone calls, maybe the iPhone is really not for you. You need to go to just a basic flip phone." And they looked at you like, "What, are you crazy? You don't want to sell me this phone?" I said, "No, it's not that I don't want to sell it to you, but why would I sell you a product that you're not even going to use 2% of it? It doesn't make sense. Not for me and not for you." And so then they became a little bit more perceptive to some of the things that they could do with it. So anyway,
I wanted to say, like, it's amazing how much the trade-in feature of a phone has become bigger and bigger in Apple now. You could see that, like, it might be the best spot to go to. How often do you go on eBay or Facebook and see and buy a used phone anymore? A lot of people now are, you could buy a phone for $400 right now. So why would you bother? It's almost kind of worthless. So the resale market of a phone is terrible now. So the trade-in's a great option, honestly. And honestly, for my computer, I don't know if I'm going to go out and sell it, because I'll be honest, it's not going to be worth as much as I think it is. Not to mention I need a battery probably in it.
Yeah.
It's almost 4 years old. I'd rather just get rid of it the easy way. So that's what I'm thinking. But this was a great store. Not to mention this is a store that's busy and a store that's small. And the seamless transaction, which of course having those easy pays, which are like one of the coolest things that finally a lot of people are starting to finally use, it's really it was a game changer in the industry of retail.
Yeah, I would agree. My 5-star review from 2 months ago at the Quaker Bridge store reads as follows from Lauren. great and consistent customer service and genius support.
Inconsistent. You said consistent.
It is consistent. It says great and consistent.
Okay, I thought you said
service.
inconsistent. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I came in a few times with device issues, and everyone has been so friendly and helpful. Pietro was amazingly thorough and knowledgeable. I left feeling confident about my product.
Yeah,
this is
Pietro's really good, by the way. That's a good guy to talk to in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked with him.
One of the things I found that the better reviews are not very detailed. They say, hey, I had a great experience, loved the store, would go back again. The ones that really get very detailed are the 1-star reviews. They
Yes.
tend to tell you exactly why they didn't like.
Although mine was pretty good. I found a pretty good one. I mean, honestly, I mean they do get Net Promoter scores that are long. Some of them are really long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as far as like definitely again more on the negative side are definitely longer because they want to vent. You know, and that's the reality of what it is. But this is a pretty simple review. You know, I don't really have much to say on that one. You know, they were happy. Obviously, they left confident in their. I love the word. I'm felt even confident in my product. And the number one thing that they always said that with the Genius Bar 4 is to turn a detractor into a promoter.
Yeah.
Right. And that's exactly what this is. This one's a good one. So this one's long. It's our final review of the night. It's a 1-star review from Grr. Now, this review, I always like to check if he was left other reviews before and if he's always just negative. Well, it turns out this guy's not always negative. He's kind of he's got like some positive, some middle ones. This one was definitely a bad one. So he does mix it up. So that's why I included it in here. So Grr said, I trade my iPhone 8 to iPhone 11 Plus. They gave $250 for the trade, which was good. They offered me 2 different payment plans. One was the Apple Card and the other was a credit card. I asked what was different. He said that the credit card came with AppleCare and 0% interest for 2 years. Great, right? He told me how much payment, and I, real, did not think to add up to 2-year payment. I'm reading exactly the way he wrote it. So I trusted the fast-talking guy at Apple. Why? ... They so nice. Oh, they so nice and so trustworthy. Wrong. Well, guess what? Shame on me for not checking my receipts before I left the store. They were so nice, they put the receipt in the bag without showing me the receipt. Well, I got home and to see that AppleCare was included in the payment for $200. I called the store. I was on the phone. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was in the phone for 10 minutes. No, not 10 minutes. 10 min, only to get transferred to an Apple Store manager with an attitude. He said, bring the phone back and we'll give you your phone back. When I asked the district manager, I got sorry, I cannot give that. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute. The bottom line is check your receipts and the true payment that AppleCare is included. Well, guess what? You paying for it. I don't mind paying for AppleCare, but don't tell me it's included and then get charged for it. So sad. I just wonder how many buyer don't notice this on their bill, and if there is incentive for the salesperson when they sell AppleCare. Don't get wrong. I love my new iPhone, but they never told me it was $200 for AppleCare. All he showed that there was a $6 difference a month for the 64 gig and the 256 gig phone. Funny thing is that the manager said, I will talk to Dale person. Yeah, right. The conversation will probably go, congratulations for selling one more AppleCare. Check your receipt before you leave.
A multitude.
Let's talk about this guy's spelling.
Wow. Well,
I love this. I was in the phone for 10 min only.
Well,
so let's break that down. So AppleCare is included in a monthly payment system now.
yes.
Now, So if I was to sell someone saying that it came with AppleCare, well, he's not saying it was free.
Right.
I don't think there was nothing in there about him saying that it was free. If I'm correct on that.
Yeah, but I do think that at least when I was on the floor, I would always explain to them that the phone is one price, Apple Care is an additional cost, but if you use the Apple Card, that the cost of the Apple Care gets factored into the monthly payment. If you choose to pay to go with Apple Care, you don't have to go with Apple Care.
Right.
But it does cover accidental damage.
Yeah, so he's not I would say that likely the way they talked to him probably wasn't wrong, but they just failed to mention there was a cost behind the extra AppleCare or offer the option without it.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't offer the option. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
So, as far as you put the receipt in the bag without showing me the receipt, well, I'll be honest. Who really reads their receipt?
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time it's emailed to you now.
Yeah.
But the putting the receipt in the bag, I think everybody does that. I mean, personally.
Yeah.
But, him, and then the fact that he called the store, talked to a manager, and then he wants a district manager. Now, I'm trying to figure out why he would ask for that when he has a manager on the phone, but I guess he just didn't like the attitude of him.
Yeah.
What was he wanting? Like a free AppleCare? I don't know what he was asking.
I mean, he could have came back to the store and he could have reversed the transaction, sold them the phone without the AppleCare.
Right.
But
he thinks it's a $200 convenience. I'm guessing, which I don't 100% agree with, and I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if they told him that the AppleCare was included. I mean, it sounds like this guy also he's had a phone before, so this is not new. Like, he knows AppleCare is a thing.
Right.
So he must have had I wonder if he had AppleCare before this conversation. Now, a lot of times, they will ask for district managers, and that will not happen. I don't care what store it is. So if you're going to go to a store, the highest person you're going to talk to is the store leader. Yeah, that store leader. That's it. If you want to go higher than that, they will not give that out at all. So don't even bother trying. The store leader is the end-all, be-all person of that store.
Yeah, the other thing on here is that, where is it? He says, wow, no, but he says, come
on, Frank.
I'm trying to find it here because I just lost it.
He said, and he did mention, he showed that there was a $6 difference a month between the 64 gig and the 256, which, fine. And that they would talk to Dale person.
I know what it was about. Is there a commission for the AppleCare?
Yes.
None of the Apple employees work on commission, so it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Doesn't matter to any sales rep whether you buy anything additional. Or for that matter, if you buy a phone at all, they get paid an hourly wage, and that's it. There's no commission whatsoever.
Nope. Yeah. And now there are numbers that they have to hit.
Yes.
So your job will be on the line if you don't keep selling AppleCare. Which, by the way, right now AppleCare is beyond worth it if you ever don't take that. Yeah. That's just like it's funny, where Disney right now is taking more things away when you go to a park. Apple was giving more back in their AppleCare and not changing the price.
Yeah. Well, now you get lost or stolen, right?
Yeah. That was an option that wasn't there.
No.
Over there.
But and bought an iPad for my grandson. He dropped it and cracked it twice, and twice it brought it in and $79. Get a new one. Well, an equivalent replacement for that model.
Right.
But
So do you think this guy is in the wrong? Do you think he deserves something?
I probably would have given him something.
Like a free case?
Something, yeah. But
I would say a free case.
I would have tried to explain to him, and I would have done it normally, I know how we used to work at both Freehold and Quaker Bridge. If a manager was called over, he would have that conversation with the salesperson and the customer
Without
at the
them.
same time. So that
Sometimes they don't really they didn't do that a lot with me. I mean, they do it at the Genius Bar.
well, you didn't screw
but,
up
like,
that much. That's why.
Oh, that's true. That's a fact. True. Good man.
I, on the other hand,
Yeah. Oh, please. You know, we would have you have conversations with them in private, and then a lot of times the manager says, "Well, what do you want to do?"
right?
And
Exactly.
if I suggested, listen, was there a chance I could have screwed up? Yeah, you take a little ownership of it.
Right.
Because then
Exactly.
that'll give it more of a reason to, Apple gives away free stuff at every Apple store every day in some way.
Yep. Yes.
They do. So,
Yeah.
but this guy is, he comes off a little bit as an asshole in a lot of ways, but I can see why he was upset. But I don't think, to me, I think he should, being a customer, and I don't know if I should say this, but you should know that AppleCare is extra money. Like, you should know that.
Yeah.
These have been around for how many years now?
Oh, a lot.
So I think you kind of should know. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's our episode today with all of our different reviews. I always love going through these reviews, and hopefully no one gets mad at you, Frank, for choosing one that points out one of our someone we used to work with. So
No, I don't.
we'll find out we actually have a Facebook group of former and current Quaker Bridge employees. So it'll be interesting when I post this one in there. We'll see what happens. I'll take the heat. I'm the one that's doing the podcast, and you're not even on social media, so no one knows who you. No one even knows you exist anymore.
Yeah, I know.
To be honest.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, we are all set to go. My Zevia is starting to come up on me. I want to thank you guys for joining us for this podcast. Another great week of me and Mr. Frank Funk talking about the world of Apple. We're counting down the days to Apple releasing this new iPhone. Obviously, it's September time. The next time we'll be here. It's going to be very close to when they're going to have this review. But, of course, you know me. I'm waiting for that new MacBook Pro that's going to cost me $4,000 to get. I'm looking forward to it. So, for Mr. Frank Funk, I am Will. I love every single one of you.
Take care, guys.